Hello and welcome back to the final Academy Showcase where Sneaky, Meteos, Kobe, and I are breaking down champs like for Golden Guardians Academy versus 100 Thieves. And we are up right away with the bans.
Hey.
And Darshan.
Oh. Where'd they go?
Yeah, did you catch those bans, by the way? This is
I
death.
saw Silas.
I saw Zaya.
Silas makes sense to me. Do you still play him in the jungle? You like it?
Yeah, I think even though he doesn't shield from physical damage anymore, it's a much shorter cooldown. So it's actually like you can use it to maneuver a bit better. So I think he's still just as good or maybe better.
He gained damage too, so it's definitely pretty solid.
Yeah, every time I see Silas Jungle, he's just popping off.
Yeah, whenever I'm playing solo queue and I see them pick Silas, I never know what to pick into it because I feel like nothing is actually going to do better.
I actually thought your Silas jungle was the best. Actually, Wiggly's was really good too.
The second best Silas
Yours
jungle.
was.
It was top 2 out of.
It was top 2. Top 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think I played okay. I feel like in that game I was moving around the map well, like I was in the right place at the right time, but like mechanically it could have been better.
You stole a lot of good ultimates, and you had the pick on someone where you like jumped over the raptor pit or whatever.
Oh yeah, the one on
that, and you had stopwatch.
Yeah.
That was like game winning.
That was pretty tight.
Yeah.
Whose ulties? Whose ulties did you get that game?
Rumble, Jarvan.
Oh, you had a solo
Oh
clip for
yeah,
Rumble.
people were memeing you were a better Rumble than
Hooney?
What was it, Hooney?
Probably. It's a Rumble top. It's almost certainly.
It was
There's someone else.
Broken Blade.
Oh, okay, so Broken Blade, fine.
Yeah. You actually had better Rumble ults than him. So that's a
No,
sign
it's true.
of a good Silas.
That into maybe. That's facts. Yeah.
Have you ever picked up Gragas ult as Silas?
Yeah, I have.
Every time someone does as Silas, they just miss it so badly.
Really?
Like, I mean, it was mainly because it was mid Silas being played, and like they don't play Gragas nearly as much.
What you can do
They were
is
2013 mid laners.
you can
Yeah.
you can Gragas ult them and then throw your chain and hit them in midair.
Yeah.
Stop them.
With the E? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like it's
So
body
you're just
slam.
like playing catch off
Yeah,
the wall or
exactly.
something.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
I don't think
already the Gragas
I
combo.
feel like that would never work. But
No, it's-
try it. Okay, we see the bans now.
I believe in you. First game of playoffs, lock in Silas. Kind of picked your Gragas.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
Skill shots.
Jarvan then. Sejuani and Silas are both banned.
Oh my
So
god.
everything
Jarvan.
looks pretty normal now. Yumi's up. Yumi is
Okay.
He's up.
went through the bans. See if she's first picked.
That cat is pretty
What
powerful.
about Ezreal?
Pretty normal first pick.
Ezreal first. Did you just say that?
What? It happened earlier today.
These guys did it.
Oh,
Yeah. On their way to a 0-2 week. but
secret
you know what?
technology.
Instant Yasuo. Rakan's in there as well.
Ooh.
Could be
exciting.
bot lane. I saw G2 do it.
Wait, they banned Zaya, and then they first picked 1-2'd Rakan.
That's
They wanted to make
that's
sure it
pretty
wasn't
weird.
stolen away.
That's really weird, actually.
That is really weird.
Maybe it is Yasuo Rakan bot lane.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're gonna take Yasuo, you would not do it 1-2 unless you think the other team's gonna contest it. So
Yeah.
that's pretty weird to me.
I mean, what's the best pick into Yasuo after someone blind picks it? Because people are blind picking it all the time now, so I feel like there's not.
I mean,
And he also Gragas Vlad's pretty good. Just to not die.
I think Akali is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's more about like, I think certain comps, like I don't know if Yasuo fits into every single team comp kind of thing.
Yeah.
So taking him with priority like that, maybe they just have really good Yasuo players or something.
They could get the Gragas right here if they want it.
I do know that Yasuo is pretty good against Ezreal bot lane, so they could send the Yasuo bot if Chris Mole's got the hands for it.
Them win walls.
Yep.
Because I think that like Yasuo can just kind of jump on Ezreal, and Ezreal doesn't have a lot he can do about it. You can E, but if he gets on you like by Eing the minions, he can just E it after you.
Yeah, he just chases straight
And
up.
like blocks your stuff, and I don't think Ezreal can really do much there.
Yeah.
More knockup synergy.
No
Got Azir.
junglers picked up. The Gragas and Jarvan, will they survive second round of bans?
It's kind of interesting seeing Azir into those champs from GGS because Azir's historically weak against poke, and GGS is pretty much
Indexing the
showing
poke?
it
It's all poke.
right away. Yeah, that's pretty much all they have so far is poke. So let's see how that works.
I don't know, dropping some of the engage options, that might have been good against it. Of course, Corki and Ezreal are pretty good against Jarvan. You just jump out of the pit, obviously. So somewhat of a one-sided ban regardless, but I think they still want knockup synergy for Yasuo, I'd assume. There's
Gragas
the
ban
ban.
makes sense. The Gragas Yasuo combo is pretty strong.
They still got Trundle for the Yasuo.
That's
set
true.
up. Throw a big pillar.
The Trundle combo.
I actually think it's so funny when you just see the pillar gank come by and then Yasuo.
Dude, were we trying that with High for like the longest time?
Yeah.
And then
Spam
eventually we're
R.
just like, guys,
No.
I don't think it's good for Yasuo to just jump into the middle of their team like
Yeah,
that.
you literally make the Yasuo insta-die. Because you're like, go, go, go. Oh.
So Olaf ban as well.
Yep. I'm throwing jungle bans out there. What if it's... So I saw this from Optic Academy's last game. What if it's jungle Yasuo?
Maybe. We'll see if the Wukong top comes through.
That's the synergies. Only 'cause-
Aatrox is banned, so he doesn't.
yeah,
have
he's
as
got a
good
better
of
matchup
lane.
now.
So wow, that's a lot of jungle. There's 6 junglers banned right now.
Yep.
Wow.
So what do we even have left?
Azir top.
The jungle pool.
Do you consider Aatrox a jungler? Because it could
No.
be 7.
No.
No.
Do you
We don't.
consider Irelia a jungler? What about
Is
Karma?
Mayonnaise a jungler?
Wait, they made a buff so that Aurelia's attack speed passive works on monsters now. So it can be a jungler.
I mean, everything you said up until the end is true. Her passive does work on jungle monsters. That does not make her good. Because the thing is, she can only mark the big monsters. So it's
Yeah.
like you're trying to clear raptors, and before you get Tiamat,
It's sad.
So you've tried.
see you in 30 seconds. No, I actually love playing Irelia in solo lanes. Okay, so Rek'Sai versus Xin Zhao, that's like a solo Q jungle matchup, actually.
There were 6 bans, so
Yeah, no, I mean, I like it. It's cool.
yeah. Sweet. Who wins the jungle matchup? Like what? How does?
I would rather be Rek'Sai, but like when Xin Zhao gets Red Smite Warrior, he wins the 1v1 pretty hard against Rek'Sai
Okay.
for early levels. But I feel like Rek'Sai kind of has more options in what to do in the game. Like you know, more mobility.
Yeah.
One big weakness of Xin Zhao is he can only really go in. Something that ends up happening a lot on Xin is like, say you're just walking around the river or like hitting a pink ward, they jump on you, and a lot of junglers, you know, Jarvan, Sedge, they can jump out. Xin just, nah.
But he can knock you up and call his Yasuo Pokemon to come fly.
Yeah, I mean,
we're gonna fight
with
you.
Xin Zhao, you pretty much got to do that. You just got to always be ready to go. So if they can make it work, you know, more power to them.
It's Yasuo bot lane.
You don't know that.
It could be Azir top into the game
It's
flank.
support Yasuo. Oh, they switched it. Never mind.
I actually would almost rather see Azir top into GP because it's actually so free to kill barrels, and you just put Rumble mid because Rumble mid's good.
I think Rumble into GP though is also hard winning for Rumble.
Okay.
Rumble mid is good.
Isn't Rumble mid good?
No.
Wait,
What?
isn't
No,
Rumble mid
it's
absurd?
It's so good.
I think it's not good.
Maybe
Really?
Niski's
Yeah.
bad at Rumble.
Dude, you've never
No.
played jungle in solo queue? Like, I swear to
no,
God,
It's so annoying for sure.
Rumble mid and solo queue, I've never seen that thing lose.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good in solo queue because it just roams everywhere. It's
Yeah.
like Kled mid. Like, it's good because it just gets kills, but you play it competitive, it doesn't get kills. And then it's not snowballing, doesn't win the game.
Okay.
And it's a mid laner playing Rumble.
He has won more games than you.
Oh.
no.
True.
I mean, I got to experience Bjergsen's Rumble firsthand.
Yeah, and you know, it's only so good. All right, final thoughts, who's gonna win?
Probably someone.
I mean, aren't we all winners?
I think GGS's comp looks a little stronger to me.
All right.
I'll go with GGS.
Yeah, I don't know.
Zach?
I think if Yasuo can snowball, it'd be really hard, but
All right.
don't know if he actually plays it much.
You believe in the win wall. Thank you very much. That is it for LCS Cooldown. Cass, take it away for the Academy Showcase.
Thank you very much, Freak, Kobe, Sneaky, and Meteos for all your in-depth insight into the game and fantastic burrito making. Y'all need to learn how to make burritos.
It made me hungry, so it worked.
It's true. True. Sometimes food just makes you hungry. That, however, made me want more League of Legends so I can forget about it. And now we are on to the Rift Golden Guardians Academy versus 100 Thieves Academy. As we're about to go live, we got a little crowd love going on as they pump the players up here to get in the game.
And we got to set the stage for this match, Riff, because
Set it.
we've got Golden Guardians at a 9-game win streak. 100 Thieves Academy, 10-game win streak. Both these teams looking to play for the second bye that is available. Cloud9 Academy securing that one. So this is a really, really important match. If Golden Guardians is to win this game, they will secure it and be ahead of 100 Thieves. However, if 100 Thieves wins this game, we will have to go into another match for a tiebreaker to determine who is the better of these two teams. But it could be
Yep.
a day where both of these squads lose their win streak, which is something that you don't really get to hear every day.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody's going to lose it, but it could be both at that
Yeah.
point. That's crazy. You never know. So here we are heading into the match as we have scouted a little bit in the beginning. 2 early wards placed down. Usually you're only seeing a few, 1 or 2 on each side, but we got 4 out to start things off. 5 as another one goes. Man, ward heavy. Even with these junglers that could come out with a quick level 2 red, they are going to go ahead and get that vision in so they can keep an eye on if that's going to happen, I guess.
It's going to hurt Anda a little bit more. This is the only jungler of the two that can go for a cheesy level 1, level 2 kind of gank as Xin Zhao, but I want to touch on the bottom lane, Prismal and Stunt. I believe this is not the first time that Prismal has been playing Yasuo in the bottom lane. 100 Thieves has done this before, taking some pages out of some of our European brethren, and so far it's been pretty solid for them. They have actually done really well in the side lanes and mid, and it just has not been entirely the Someday show, although you can expect the top lane to go incredibly well for him. But I do believe that this is actually Someday's toughest matchup, considering Darshan just earlier this year was playing in the LCS as a top lane.
You are correct. It is Prismal's second play on the Yasuo, so he does know how to get the dips and dashes in to make it hard for Keith. We heard Sneaky and Meteos talking about how bad that lane can become if Yasuo does get on you. You got to keep good positioning there. And like you're saying, the win streak's looking to be kept up here. And if Golden Guardians can take the win, they find themselves heading home a little earlier today.
And they're going to find themselves invading the Xin. He was spotted with the second ward now, and he should know with the Yuumi and that ward that was placed. They're going on Anda. Woo!
Got him on the hit. He did flash, though, carrying that stun with him, and the crowd control is a refresh kill. Going over to Hard, that's a nice red buff for him.
Super aggressive invade out of Golden Guardians. You could tell that was planned, their entire route. Level 3 from Hard in the bottom lane, doing both the Scuttle and the Raptors, but I'm surprised that Anda did not respect the fact that Yuumi had roamed up and that a ward was placed over the wall. Very, very confident play out of him, and it bites him.
We did say they would stop it from ganking, but you have to realize they're also going to allow Golden Guardians to know where his pathing was. That's a Hex Flash on Anda, so he can make plays over the wall, coming in with that Summoner spell still. A little bit of a fight in the top side by Someday and Darshan. As Someday overheats, we also get a fight towards bottom. 300 HP to stun as Zoomies keeps Ole and Keith nice and healthy in lane. Just soaking up those Klepto resources when he gets his attacks on.
And the Yasuo's power in the bottom lane is that he can continue to move back and forth, is deceptively hard to gank, and running out of no mana, he can stay and really push somebody like Keith to have poor recall timing. Here comes the gank on Darshan. No flash on Anda.
X-Flash Hail of Blades cannot get that 3 strike out for the CC, but the flash just as good for a rinse and repeat. You can see Shinzao coming back there. Grand entrance into the fight. It does not look like they will get anything out of the kill other than a few denials of CS, but Keith is picking those up pretty good here.
The second jungler today we've seen, if you count the LCS, that is running a Hex Flash. It was Mike Young on the Elise doing it earlier, and now Anda with it, and we do see some values in it, but Meteos raised an interesting point about it in that when you press tab, it really gives it away that you don't have flash, so it doesn't make it so that your opponents have to time your flash.
Right.
So easy to just tell whether they have it or not, and with a champion like Xin that is so one-dimensional, falling behind and not having flash and telling everybody else, hey, I'm the free kill here, come catch me if you can, well, you can expect him to really struggle in finding these early kills that are normally the Xin game plan.
Yeah, it's all Sins. Yeah, I bet you he wasn't thinking he would find Hard in his jungle either, being the one who would initiate that first fight. The Queen of the Xerxai and Rek'Sai is still pretty good at getting in some early game brawls if she has some help. See where they go from here. Someday keeping his heat gauge nice and topped off, so if he does get into a fight, he's got those overheat auto attacks, but never putting himself in a bad position. Almost at level 6 for these top laners as they just crest over to level 5, and Someday has a bit of lane control.
He is crushing the top lane.
Yeah.
If Darshan gets all the CS, he's almost at a 20 CS lead on the Rumble, which is just outrageous at this point. It's only 5 minutes in, and to build a lead that large, that you really don't see that anywhere else except in the jungle matchup that is favoring Hard, but he got a first blood with an assist behind him too, so it's a little bit more expected on that side, just not from this matchup.
It's Grass game playing too, not Klepto, so he doesn't get resources to keep healthy in lane. He's got a Chug, he's got Biscuits, he bought a Negatron to try and get himself healthy from that damage in the beginning, and it is going to pay off for just a moment. Blast out attack. No, he's going to stay alive. He gets the kill in the Anda. Are you friggin' serious?
That was the worst dive that could have ever happened for 100 Thieves. That lead all given away. Give it all back. It's all in Darshan, plundering everything like a true pirate. Now he's got a bounty, catches the entire wave, and hits level 6. Oh, that is disaster for Xin and 100 Thieves.
Spectacular mistake, I think, are the two words you can actually combine for that. Wow. For especially Someday to walk away without a kill there. That's the guy they're trying to get going. Like you said, had a 20 CS lead on the lane, but say bye-bye to that.
The placement of the equalizer was on the left side of the turret, so as long as Darshan just didn't walk in that direction, they were tower diving one ability down. So he played it cool, used the oranges at a great timing, and now Golden Guardians is up to an outrageous early lead. Not only 2,000 gold, Infernal Dragon, and with another one to boot, I'm sure they could ride this wave of pressure all the way to the next one to secure 2 Infernals.
Everything Darshan did there was right. The first buy of the Null Magic Mantle, continuously hitting out the minions, grasping when he needed to for health with oranges and biscuits. Man, I'm not sure everything happened accordingly. He was probably hitting a lot of buttons to make it happen, but he did everything he needed to stay alive. And not a play that would kind of change someday in Anda's mind about diving that again. They can still get a pretty good kill on him, but very unfortunate situation. We'll see it once again right here.
It just might. I mean, Someday does a really good job with his heat management, but notice that the equalizer completely whiffs. There's just no damage.
Oh.
The grass, that's so much work for Darshan.
Ridiculous. Had to grasp at that point, found his target. He got the HP needed. All right, moving on. Darshan 2-0 on the top. Now where he comes in big is to stay alive. Harass Someday, but deliver that cannon barrage across the map. And here you go. There's the harassment we're talking about. Parlays straight in. He's only 300 gold up on Someday. Gets the equalizer out. He can step off of that. He's got to watch out for the burn. Someday's low on that damage. Here's going to be one more parlay to come out. And he says, thank you very much for kill number 3.
This is the first time that we see Someday legitimately be struggling in lane. Now he's nowhere able to come back. This is not a champion that can come back. The itemization is too powerful. This has been Someday and 100 Thieves win condition for the last 10 games. This is disaster.
The only thing that didn't work out for Darshan in this moment is he's just shy of the fades going into his pocket, but you saw him come back with the Sheen. Parlays are going to sting that much more, and Someday has no way to mitigate that just yet. Being ahead, he's like, Haunting guys, let's go. I don't need Ninja Tabis first or anything to stop that. May have to rethink it here. Someday back in the lane. We'll see this replay once again.
Darshan doesn't even use his ultimate for this fight. He just continues to trade with Someday. But luckily, he actually gets 2 of the barrel procs because
Stays right in.
Someday was autoing the first one, and Darshan timed it really, really well at the end. And a very late game oranges was more than enough. You thought that the shield would be enough to keep him alive, and it would have been, save for the fact that that was a Sheen proc on that parlay.
Good buys. He's making good investments to come back to this lane with the fights that his opponents are trying to put onto him. Hard again in the jungle with his skirmisher saber fully completed, having a hand in that first blood on the map. And we head back to this bottom lane. All's been quiet on this home front. We thought we'd see a little bit more action to start things off, but the Yasuo lane building up, and we'll have to see if that has an impact here as they start getting the ultimates in with last breath.
He's struggling to farm a little bit, already falling behind to about 20 CS, but that is kind of expected when you have so much poke from Ezreal and Yuumi. You usually have to wait for them to use their spells before you can approach the wave without just taking ungodly amounts of damage. So, understandable. And when you have level 6, now is when the playmaking really begins, because he might be down CS, but stunt lands a knockup, Yasuo goes in, and that's a kill.
All right, Scuttle cleanup. Nice vision towards the top side of 100 Thieves jungle. A lot of that keeps Someday very safe from a Corki roam with package. Rek'Sai coming up, so they can start to focus on a little bit more of the map. Sunday's probably saying, I can farm a few mistakes. Not a problem. I don't think they're worried about
We're going to get a 4-man dive in the bottom lane, and Golden Guardians has sniffed it out, so they are backing off. You got pings onto the Rift Herald, so if they're smart here, they will be able to give that up and take the Herald. Yep, they already have it, and this is really well played because now they're going to be able to take that top tier 1 without losing the bottom.
The push from Anda has moved out. Darshan, a few more shots, trying to draw hard in, but he had not left the brush just yet. Maybe waiting to see where Xin Zhao would have been. Anda's down in mid lane, though, so they're kind of playing the cat and mouse game, waiting for the counter that almost killed Darshan there. Darshan did have to flash as we look down towards the bot side. Almost. They'll get that plate next time. Clean your plates.
Xin is still here, and Soligo does have teleport available, so I think that the play could be 4-man dive the bottom lane with that plate used. Let's see how he plays.
Anda over the wall, in, in, and actually the Rek'Sai ultimate allows him to dodge out on Emperor's Divide, but it unfortunately puts him right in range for the turret already. Looked great and then played out horribly for him. 1 for 1 though on either side.
Good job by Soligo to bait out hard,
Yeah.
get him really deep in there, and at least you trade a 1 for 1. And if Thieves' plan was to dive that bottom lane, that actually does deter that play from happening, as the bottom lane will also bait, knowing that they're not going to get a man advantage.
Ooh, Someday about to overheat. Darshan recognizing these windows that he can play with Someday during that overheat process. And Someday has to reconsider when he's going to go in, as Darshan has an idea of how to play right around that strategy. Here's the mid lane gank once again.
So Hard is already at full fury, so does a really nice job of dodging the Emperor's Divide, but with Andever, this was a one-way trip, guaranteed.
I like it. If you're not going to get knocked back, we'll shuffle you right into the turret. He's got a few ways to get that Rek'Sai ultimate to work against her. And here's what Sneaky was talking about with Meteos. If they can get on the Ezreal past the minions, you might be able to stay on them. Oh, stunned under the turret, goes down. Oh, a few more shots are going to come through. This is Prismal going down as well. Looks like Hard's going to pick another one up for himself. There it is. They actually give the auto to Keith. So they get the bot lane marksman going. 1-0-1 for him now. Darshan back onto Someday, and he's not letting him play whatsoever throughout this game at all. He's forced to flash. One more parlay. 200 damage. It's just short at about 175 tacked down the health bar.
And Darshan is strong enough that doesn't even need the ultimate to kill Someday. He did it the first time around, drops it in the bottom lane, securing those assists. He is so fed in the top lane.
Look how fast that Emperor Divide coming back up for Soligo to use, but he could get caught out now. Oh, the Prowling projectile! Giving Soligo a little bit of a scratch on the back.
The Golden Guardians are just on fire today. 5,000 gold, about to be over the 100 Thieves. They have never been in this position in the last 10 games. That's 5 weeks.
Yeah, the win streak is being carried through their play currently here at 13 minutes in. We're about to get to 14, so a perfect time to take those mid plates down as we watch this bot lane fight once again.
It looked like a good opening, but the second that Prismal does not land that knockup out of range, this fight just cannot continue. Ezreal and Yuumi are way too good at kiting back. But the real interesting play we get is in the top side, where actually we're going to just take a look at the gank in mid. Really nice flash from Palafox, and that was about as much of an outplay as you could have had, predicting exactly what Soligo. He's in his own head. He knows what he's going for, and he's not going to let him have it.
That Triforce finished up quite a bit ago here by Darshan. He is huge, a level up on his opponent as well, so he's going to be hitting those ultimate marks that feel great once he gets to those points. Packed by Palafox, he's out of the mid lane. They're switching already with mid lane going down. They start to be able to pressure different lanes with different power. Here are 3 members on the bot side versus what is still trying to be a laning 100 Thieves.
Ezreal, sorry, the Sin is not here, so they're trying to make their way back to the bottom and try to help them out. But as a 2v3, this is a situation where you call backup and you hold. This is one of those game modes where you try to just survive as many waves as possible. Hope for the best.
I think Darshan is there as I look. Oh, that's 300. Is that 300 or 500?
400.
331. I was looking at his Serpent coin to see if he can get a new upgrade with his ult, because he's just getting that much more powerful. They're picking up gold all over the map, and they're taken down for the 3rd time in the game, as he's actually looking at Hard with a stopwatch. So even if we see Golden Guardians getting a little too far into this greed, they have ways to get out of it. That's what they're able to work with at this point, just 15 minutes in and a 6,000 gold lead.
They've got ways and they've got power, because you got double Infernal now stacking up on this team. It's only going to get worse for the Thieves from here on out, because the Xin, it's really the main engager here. The Rakan, yeah, he's going to be able to get some good fights, but he's not tanky. It's going to have to be Xin, and Hard and the Yuumi do a really sick job just engaging. Look at the distance that they cover with that combination.
Looks so interesting watching Yuumi go through the tunnels with him. Carpool system.
No one else. There's not another champion that can actually take Rek'Sai tunnels except Yuumi.
Damn, that's crazy. I like it. We'll figure it out. We'll make more backpack champions. That'll be the
Please, no. One backpack is more than enough. We don't have that many backs.
Soon there'll be a mode where it's 10 on 10, where the second person is actually just a backpack for every lane. Everybody gets a secondary. Actually, that sounds like a
Backpack on top of a
sweet
backpack.
game mode. Just not all Yumis, please.
Can't wait for the R-Earth of Yumi involved. That's going to be real fun.
Heck yeah.
You know which one a surprisingly powerful champion in that mode that is super underrated is support Lee Sin.
Support Lee Sin?
If you go Ardent Sensor and you spam the shield on somebody else,
I like it.
Before it times out, you can actually recast it so it's infinitely buffed shield.
Hell yeah. One of my favorites, it doesn't work out well late, but it's amazing early, is AP Rek'Sai. You just stay underground, you Prey Seeker, and it's huge. Huge damage, good AP ratio there. Back to the game though, as turrets fall on the side of 100 Thieves, all 11 still standing on the side of Golden Guardians. We'll see what happens here in a jungle fight. They do get a nice knock up, and they are taking down hard. He's going to go into that stopwatch form. They may be able to grab Prism on the way back out. Yasuo's down, and they are going to grab Soligo as well. A few more shots for the final chapter. Do not connect with Anda and Stun, but they have long range, and they are going to make it stick. Just a few more shots, and they get the double kill going over to Palafox to finish up the fight.
They are so bloodthirsty here, looking for Anda first, but as they see everybody else collapse, they know they are more than strong enough to take everybody else out. I love that he flashes in, trying to get the most out of that Yumi spell, and Art does a really good job here in buying time, especially with the stopwatch, and he stays alive long enough that it buys so much damage for Darshan inside the Gangplank ultimate. It was raining hellfire on every single member, and then the chase here is just too easy. This is exactly what happens with Yumi. You get far ahead, nobody can run from you.
And we're seeing it's also hard for Soligo versus all these long-range champions. Again, something that's said on cooldown that Vazir doesn't want to be working against Poke. He wants to be working with Poke. His soldiers are out. You're just taking Mystic shots from the side, prowling projectiles, and hits from Palafox. It becomes difficult to position correctly. You can only move the soldiers so much. A jungle fight is almost the thing you want to see for an Azir. Be able to hide those soldiers and choke points, and that did not go well for 100 Thieves. 13-2. The gold lead is slowly extending, but it has been staved off a bit from increasing too much. 100 Thieves is finding a way to stop the fight. But like you said, Crumbs, no for sure initiation is going to find them back at a way to hit both Guardians.
At this point, Anda is just going to be fodder in every single fight. They're going to have to look for a really good engage and then sacrifice him. It's either him or Soligo, because Stunt does not have his flash. He's not going to be able to make any crazy Rakan plays, and you're having to deal with Palafox and Ezreal poking you out and preventing you from getting the perfect engage.
Almost 20 minutes in, and just Someday has that Leandries. Not even the sword boots to follow up with it, which is usually the two-item kind of taster's choice you're looking for that everybody will get if you're not trying to get the defensive Tabbies. Here, they're all sharing CS. Even the camps are trying to help each other get through so they can get back to defending. It's on all fronts. 100 Thieves trying to stop this bleeding. And Golden Guardians, like you said, will not stop their pace. 5-0-3 Darshan, a 3-0-3 Palafox. Solo lanes are doing fantastic. The only kills are on Hard because he's been going just that into the fight for his team and setting up these plays.
It stops the members of Thieves from dying individually, but it does mean they're hemorrhaging gold all over the map.
Three-man chase here going on to Darshan. He's able to absorb that pressure, and look what's happening on the other side of the map. Unfortunately, things are just not playing out in favor of the Team 100 Thieves at this point. Package into Valkyrie over the wall. Nothing can stop this Palafox right now. He's jumping everything. And now they are on to inhibitor turrets, a push in the mid lane by Just Keith himself, as Yumi's been hanging out on the top side with the rest of the team.
And they took down the tier 2 in the mid lane, and now Gangplank is going to be pushing a tier 3.
Throwing down the Xin Zhao ultimate, trying to get in with the entrance from Stun. He throws down the quickness, but nobody's really charmed up with the nice Zanya's going on to Yumi and to Palafox.
He's going to have to be on the tier 2 first, so whoopsies on that one, but it's still a 3 tier 2 play out of the Golden Guardians in the last 2 minutes. First top, then mid, then bottom, all while Thieves are still struggling to find that kill. And it's all because you fell behind early with the Xin Zhao. That first blood was really the catalyst that snowballed this game for Golden Guardians, and they have not let off the pedal ever since.
They really haven't. I think that play, as well as finding the kind of stress that Anda and Someday had in their first gank due to being a bit behind. It didn't feel forced, but it felt a little chaotic, as it would have been just a one quick kill. A double kill for Darshan comes up, and it just doesn't seem like they've been able to kind of get out of that mentality.
Even if they had killed Darshan there, you could tell that Someday was going to go down. So worst case scenario, it would have been a 1-for-1, which is just shows you that the play itself was a little bit miscalculated or misplayed, because had Someday landed the ultimate as well, that would have certainly been a kill on Darshan and wouldn't have lost any other members.
They are playing the waiting game now. They know they have 100 Thieves kind of backs against the wall. A ward chilling in the base as well. Can kind of grab anybody walking by, know somebody's a straggler in the fight, or be kind of a sick teleport if anybody wants to go for a suicide mission. No one really wants to take that in the current composition of GGS.
Oh.
But holy moly, the True Shot Barrage taking Stunt down to 300 HP. Right off the bat. Huge damage coming out of Keith here. Looks like he's going to get a Gunblade next, and that'll sting even more as he gets his cooldown perfectly ramped up. And it is going to be damage right onto what is the first inhibitor turret going down to the game. 20 minutes in, and they have broken the base of 100 Thieves.
There is no equalizer for Someday, so the Thieves cannot be looking for a fight here. They're not going to win. It's a matter of holding on. Don't lose that top lane inhibitor, because the Baron is sure to go next.
You can see the poke working against Soligo. He cannot keep the soldiers in the right position, let alone 3 soldiers up at a time to get that attack speed buff at these final stages of the game. It's so important to have that and get that steroid for your soldiers. But the movement is too much, and GGS continue to be mobile. Bot lane's gonna have to be cleaned up. Janitorial duty for Someday as he heads down there, and you can see the timers now ticking down for the inhibitors on the bottom right of your screen. 400 Thieves. It also means they're gonna have a little bit harder of a time leaving their base. They don't get that top wave pushed out nice and well.
They're going to need a miracle Baron steal. That's really the
do.
only thing that can buy them time here. It's going to be impossible for them to win a team fight. The item discrepancy is just giant at this
Crumbs,
point.
to be honest, I think a Baron pit, we've seen fights in the jungle. Maybe there's too many avenues, but that Baron pit looks great for a Rumble, an Emperor's Divide, and soldiers. Yasuo Last Breath, the quickness, and Rakan. But can it happen? I feel like it's so conditional. GGS is not just going to hand that to them.
Exactly. They're not going to let themselves be in that position. As long as their carries are separated, it means that the individual spells of the Thieves are not going to be able to get multiple knockups, so they're not going to get wombo comboed. And it's a pretty easy to execute plan, and the Thieves are there just trying to look for it, so at least they recognize what it is they need to find to get a way back in the game.
I like those moments. Even in the lead, you can kind of say, like, oh, there's a no crap moment from them. They may have lost track of their vision a bit. True Shot Barrage tells them they're perfectly fine. And holy moly, what a hit there coming in from Palafox. Looks like they're going to try to put a few more, or rather, Darshan on the front line. Sundisk is up, Sundisk is down. Final Chapter does catch the team, and they lose stun. Prism will go down fast next, just to the left of the Raptor pit, and that's a double kill coming in for Keys. Palafox is going to bring in another one for the team as they run straight through the base. This is going to be big damage coming in. 18-3, sub 25 minutes as they start knocking on the Nexus turrets. Someday giving it his all as he lights the fire that could be the last flame for 100 Thieves and their win streak. Golden Guardians is going to proceed to that victory, and they're going to keep their streak going as they head for the playoffs.
And they're going to secure that all-important buy right up in there with Cloud9 Academy in just commanding fashion, really putting an end to the whole conversation of who had the better streak. Pretty clear from this one that it's the Golden Guardians with a sub 25 win over a team that even toppled Cloud9 Academy, our #1 squad.
Big pats on the back for the man in the top lane, Darshan, coming up huge on the gangplank, finding where X marks the spots multiple times on his Pirate Blade Master. He's good to go. And then he was slinging some guns as well.
It was really great. The big plays were the jungle invade from Hard.
First jungle invade on a Xin Zhao.
And Olay, yes, shut down the Xin Zhao. And that was set up with the vision plan. They invaded first, utilized that Yuumi, set up the wards, know where Xin is going. So really smart first route. And then the Darshan dodging out of the first gank, and then surviving and now playing the second one. And from that point onwards, pretty clinical from these guys that have so much LCS experience under their belt.
Absolutely, yeah. I was going to say, just towards the bot lane, not a bad decision, picking up the toucan throughout the season for Echo Fox. Keep sliding in well, and there's always a smile on his face. You kind of think about him and Ole, and that must be the cheeriest bot lane you have, if not Wild Turtle and Wadid.
And we hear that what he brings to the table is aggression. Just being constantly aggressive is the key play. And I'm sure it was him that's saying, listen, the wave is pushed. You don't need to be here. We don't need to harass these guys into the tower. We're not getting plates. We're not chipping them in. Go invade. Go help out our jungler if you can. And that is the next level aggression, where you recognize what your team can do, not just for your own lane, but for your others.
And there was so much movement from this team, being able to fight across the map, quirky package movement, and we actually saw Hard and Ole become a bit of an item together as they moved around the Yuumi and the Rek'Sai, and it became really hard to get away from those knock-up initiations that resulted in a cannon barrage, that resulted in a further fight for the team. So right now, we are going to send it down to the Tigers for an interview with the Golden Guardians top laner.
I'm sure Golden Guardians have to be feeling pretty great right now on the Academy roster for sure, but everyone was expecting this to be a bit closer considering the win streaks for both of these rosters. So what empowered you and everyone to have such a dominating performance?
I think we just won every lane. I think they messed up one dive top, and then the game was kind of over, so it's pretty fun to have a nice game on stage.
And for anyone that's been tracking Academy, it's no secret that Someday has been having a rockin' time in the top lane, but the aggression that we know and love from you was ever so present here today. So how did that feel to be able to kind of show it to him there in laning phase?
Yeah, it was nice to have a confident game. I think that I played pretty well. I think they made a lot of mistakes, and I definitely don't want to let one win get to my head, but definitely feels good to play well.
And as a unit playing well as well, considering the dives that were happening top, around 19 minutes, there were picks bottom and mid, all the way traveling through. So how is that synergy going to help you out moving into the playoff mindset?
I think a lot of us have had experience before, so we kind of know how to play out the game when we get an advantage. So it's been pretty easy playing with everyone, and I think we're just pretty prepared to play playoffs, and I'm excited to play on stage again.
Well, I know it's been a pleasure watching all the way through the regular portion, and best of luck going into the playoffs for you. But that does it for us here on the stage. Let's send things back over to the casters.
Thank you very much, the Tigers. And with that, the Academy regular season is complete, but there's a lot more League to consume in the coming week. This or That returns on Tuesday with the Dive and Classic Legends on Wednesday. Then the Academy quarterfinals take place Thursday and Friday before the LCS returns for Week 9. Can't believe we're there already. Meet us here. Be sure to see who will come out on top. What are you expecting to see as we go into playoffs, as we start to round things out a little bit more?
Ooh, well, I really think that the 3 teams you really got to look out for are Cloud9 Academy, Golden Guardians Academy, and 100 Thieves that we just saw today. The remaining 3 teams have been struggling a little bit more. It's TLA, Echo Fox Academy, and TSM Academy. TSM Academy has not been yet finding their footing that they had last split, but it's still the reigning champion, so you always have to give them that credit. And unfortunately for TLA, they're still finding that rocky start with Odd Orange. But for the upper echelon, I mean, these guys are just really, really aggressive. They look well-oiled machines that could even compete with some of our LCS
That's
teams.
the thing I like, is I think there's a little bit more freedom when you play, not just because Academy doesn't mean as much. It means a whole lot because if you see the position you increase to, but the fact that you're going into these games and you're kind of like, hey, you know, I'm going to give it my all because I want to show what I can do on the LCS stage. You don't hold anything back. There's no tentative play there. And you kind of get what I call is like that NCAA factor, or the college play, where you're just balls to the wall, all out. And I love that style of play. The pros are sometimes, they're like, all right, calm, but collected. And I just love to see the Academy teams go at it.
You see what the best teams in the world bring when they win world championships. It's usually playing LCS with the Academy mindset.
Absolutely. So now for myself, the casters, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week for more League of Legends action. Good night.
We're not trying to fight this. Push mid.
Yeah, push mid for now.
Oh, they're going.
I have just.
I'm not TP dead.
Can Impact, careful. This is Johnny's bed.
I'm flash out.
Oh shit.
Sword and ult. Yeah, I have Q here.
You win.
Sword and flash.
Keep chasing, I think.
I hit.
Next mid he goes in. It's a go for broke moment for TL. Double is trying to get himself in the back line. TL could clinch first with this victory, but C9 says
wins Aatrox?
Yeah.
Yeah, can be win. Team fight can
feel like we should
be
have done it.
Aatrox better.
Just because teamfight, no? Like,
Just team fight can be better.
I'll be 1.9.
That was actually the relentless shoot stop for Phoenix as he tries to get in range. Ruin's still alive in this fight right now as he takes down Mike Young, and Lorlo's left out to dry. Hook shot over the wall.
Rules, keep going.
There's the challenge, and it's going to be onto Apollo. Can't do much to block that with a black shield. Again, pressure now over to the side. It's very split for PLG. They need to escape this situation unless Wiggly and Ruin can go on a huge 3v2 situation.
Get him. I'll sort of fight, I can hook.
Yeah.
Nice.
The dead wild turtle, he almost jumps up, but he gets taken down while he's airborne. 4 members instantly down.
Now, who he finds in a gauge gets the open rocket. They're gonna have to blow up the back line. They find some damage. They can't quite find the kills. He dangerous, and they will finally get one kill to FBI. Chasing for another one.
Yeah, you got it. I'm multi-poppy. Okay, I'm one poppy. Get it, Kevin. Get that shit.
Let's fucking go,
Let's
Kevin.
go!
Can we chase this guy?
Yeah, we can. Chase him. Kill him!
Let's fucking go, Kevin.
And it is going to pay off for just a moment. Blast out attack. No, he's going to stay alive. He gets the kill in the hand.
Get shit on, kid.
Sundisk is down. Final chapter does catch the team, and they lose stun. Prism will go down fast next, just to the left of the Raptor pit.
Fake God, you gotta be careful. Flashes in, finds the play, but not yet the kill. Ryu finally answers, and it's Broken Blade, a double kill for Corki. Here comes the rest of the squad, though, as TP's gonna be under the turret. Look at the timing. Bjergsen's on TF under the turret, and he will die.
Not right now, maybe.
Everybody see
Not right now, not right now. Oh shit.
Oh, Nautilus, no place.
We're okay. We're TF in the back,
I got TF.
TF is dead, we can fight, Go. Aatrox no flash,
Nautilus, no place. Nautilus, no place.
Go.
Just go.
Go.